bro. Appreciate it.
The question is, if you're a lead guitar and there's another lead guitar, who's the lead? How do you get that out? Now, at that, like in a school of rock, something tells me like this is a movie. We're gonna have to say, hey man, we're gonna have to have a battle, and you gotta leave town if you lose. How did you guys figure that out?
Usually we would split it. I don't just play lead guitar. I play rhythm guitar too.
Oh, okay.
Usually each person got to choose a list of songs that we all picked from. If you pick a song, you got the lead. There's always opportunities for one guy does one solo and one guy does the other solo.
Now, Eric, how does it work if you're a guitar player and a really good singer? Is that when you're supposed to say, I'm just going to focus on vocals and let someone else take it, right? Like, how does that work in a band, in a group?
So it all depends on individual. I would not feel comfortable singing without my instrument. I don't think I would be able to do it.
Yeah.
Because like the guitar is for first love, first instrument, you know. So I wouldn't be able to sing without my guitar, I don't think. I mean, I probably would, but I would feel awkward.
Yeah, because you're like, I'm not a vocalist. Like, right? Like, is that kind of...
I mean, I sing, but I think I'm a way better guitar player than I'm a vocalist.
Yeah. Man, you're helping me out so much. I've known guys in bands, and I've never had the opportunity to ask all these questions. So it's really, this is really cool for me to kind of understand. All right, Eric, you got a band, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm your drummer.
Okay.
Is there anything better than a trip getting ready? Nope. For a long journey where our podcast released a new epi, searching for a fade fiend, new fixation. Giving this a subscribe is the same sensation. Started with the day ones, they gave us fuel to support the season. Could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here for a reason. Notification bells, text friends, all to let you know. Check your Bluetooth, connect, talking with Donato.
All right, welcome in everyone. Episode 151, Picked a Song, with our guest, Eric Heideman. Eric, bro, the weekend is here. The eclipse is tomorrow.
Right.
I don't know how I got your attention today. I think this was a mistake on your part, right? Of all the things you could be getting ready for the eclipse, and you're like, oh yeah, I got this pie. Is that what happened? Is that how I got you?
Nah. You're good, man. It was like
pretty cool. But where are you at right now? Because I'm in Austin, Texas, so I'm going to be in the path of the eclipse. Where are you right now?
I'm also in Austin.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I think when we talked, you weren't you in Europe recently?
Yeah, I was. My girlfriend and I, we just visited Spain. So.
Oh my gosh. Hey, ¿tú hablas español?
No.
I heard that the Spanish over there is like, well, the best. So even if you did, you would have walked away and been like, I got more practice to do.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I've always been told. I lived in Europe for 3 years as an adult, and I never made it to Spain, man. That tells you so much about Germany and Paris and Belgium and the Netherlands and, well, just the other places I've been instead of going to Spain. While we're on that, though, I'm going to go off of that last name. I really love to do this. Heideman. That's German, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
How far back, man? Like, how far back?
So my grandfather was actually adopted on my dad's side, so it's not our actual, like his actual name. So
yeah. Oh, it's cool. Well, the next time you go to Europe, don't get caught in Germany because you have to come up with a story. They're gonna be like,
right.
They were like, Achtung, you got to give us more, bro. We really like the name. No, that's cool. So all right. So we're gonna get into a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but I want to start with one little section. I like to go back to the younger days and then bring it forward, if you'll oblige me. Yeah. All right, Eric, it is senior year. Whether you brown bagged it or not, just bear with me here. You're in the lunch line. You got the last meal because you shouldn't be eating. You should have went and got something, but let's just say you're there. You got your food. You got that tray. What table are you sitting at, Eric?
What table am I sitting at? I'm sitting at the table. I mean, I had a few close friends in high school, and some of us were musicians, some of us were runners. It was just a bunch of different people. It wasn't. I wasn't really with the popular jock crowd or whatever. But musicians and that kind of stuff.
Wait, did you run also? You were a musician and you were a runner, cross country or
cross country and track? Yeah.
Not bad. Wait a minute. Hold on, Eric. Man, I thought this was going to be cool. I thought we were going to love you, but now we got to hate you because did you have those locks? Did you throw that sucker in a man bun and then?
No. Okay.
All right. I was going to say, man, there's no way I ran cross country. If a guy with hair like that comes flapping in the wind next to me, I'm mad. Like, oh man, come on. You got the hair. Leave it to the rest of us here. Okay, well, what hairstyle were you rocking?
I was rocking like the Bieber do. I definitely
Oh, Eric, that didn't age well. It didn't age well. Oh man, golly, I'm so glad I asked that. Are there any pictures still out there? That was probably on your MySpace or something, but.
Yeah, there's probably still some pictures.
Oh man, we gotta find them, listeners. We gotta find it. Put them in the comments. If you got the link, put them in the comments. Let's find those. I can't wait to see it because this is so amazing that you got this flow is nice now, and then to hear that it was that, I can't wait. I'm hoping one of our detective listeners can help us out with that. That'd be a lot of fun. All right, so Eric, there's something I kind of noticed about you when I did a little social media dive, and I don't go far because I don't want that to affect me. And because I want the listeners, I don't want there to be inside jokes. I want the listeners to see like the real inquisitive nature that I'm offering. But you seem like pretty well rounded, man. If I saw correctly, like your genres, you can go across a few. Right?
Yeah.
Like what all would you say is in your wheelhouse that you play?
I mean, I studied jazz in college, so there's a little bit of that. Not so much these days, but blues, I mean, different genres of blues too, not just like slow blues or shuffle, some swing stuff, I definitely love funk and like neo soul, that kind of stuff as well.
Sheesh. Wait a minute. Eric, we gotta come back. You said neo soul.
Mm-hmm.
So somewhere out there, my words, there's a couple brothers that was like, yeah, we call him Smooth E. I mean, what? How did that come about? Was there an artist that caught your eye? There was, you were listening to something, someone went on a run, and you were like, yo, that's awesome. How did it happen?
I mean, hanging out with a bunch of the college students that were I went to the University of Utah, and we were, just discovering new music all the time. And someone was listening to Erykah Badu, I think it was.
Yeah.
That kind of sent me into stuff. I found Wolfpack and just a bunch of different bands,
Yeah. All right. You play what's called lead guitar. Is that what you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if there's lead guitar, that means you can make a run on an acoustic also, or is that a whole different path?
Yeah. So I mean, with electric and acoustic, there's a little bit of differences. Obviously, the body of the acoustic is a lot bigger, and it's not you can't have distortion on it really.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But it's similar enough to where, all the notes are still the same, right?
Sure.
So it's just the string tension. Strings are a lot thicker on acoustic than well.
I didn't know that.
So, yeah.
So I called, and maybe everyone will get the play on words there. I titled this Picked a Song. Do you use a pick?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Now, something tells me everyone doesn't do that. What would you say that ratio is of people who use a pick and those who don't?
Probably a lot more use a pick than not. It also depends on what genre of music you're playing, right? So, if you're a classical guitar player, you're not using a pick at all. You're just using fingers, and usually they grow out their nails, longer. With blues stuff, because that's primarily where I'm at right now. I mean, there's some stuff I would use my fingers for, and some stuff I would use a pick for, just depending on the style of blues I'm playing. So,
Is that hard to shift? Sorry, is that hard to shift back and forth?
You kind of have to practice both things separately, you know.
Yeah.
You really practice them both at the same time, or you know, you have to do everything, you know. Be ready for any kind of situation, you know.
Okay. I kind of thought that. I've always wanted to ask that question. So thanks for not saying, man, that's a dumb question. But I always noticed it. And I was like, some people use it, some people don't. And I just wanted to know, like, what are the percentages there? All right. So then, would you say? I'm going to say the pick is your favorite. Is that your favorite?
Yeah, I would say that.
What do you gain, though? I don't understand. What do you gain by using a pick if there is a choice between the two?
With the pick, you can, I mean, your fingers kind of aren't as, you know, can't be as accurate sometimes as like a pick, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You also like a different attack sound. With your fingers, it sounds a little softer. With the pick, it's, you know, brighter and harsher.
Wow.
Harsh is not the best word, but
yeah. This is all new to me. All right. So if you're a guitar player, can you guys dabble on some other things? And I think this is where I lose you. This is where you're gonna say, Donato, you're a dumbass. But like, you know, a ukulele. Can you play a ukulele?
Yes, you can play the ukulele. It's different than guitar completely, but I mean it's a lot. You know, it's a lot easier to play certain chords on ukulele than it is guitar. So,
oh man, you're being very gracious right now. So I'm going to keep this run. I know there's some listeners that have these questions too. All right, I've done some performing, and I always know that there's always someone that wants to be. There's the R&B singers always want to rap. The rappers want to do a little singing like on their tracks. So like, oh, I don't need to bring somebody in. I'll sing that. Right. I bet there's a lot of lead guitarists that want to play bass and then bass lead. What do you say about that? Have you dabbled on that bass guitar?
I play a little bit of bass guitar. I have a bass back here. Yeah, that big long back there.
Yeah.
But you know, it's not something I would, you know, if I was recording a record, I'd want someone who knows what they're doing a little bit more than me.
Right. Okay.
But that's not to say other people, you know, wouldn't do that. I mean, I have friends that play bass guitar, keyboard, they sing, you know, they play it all. So
what are your thoughts on those people? Because I've heard things. I mean, there was a song Stevie Wonder did, and I remember hearing that he played everything. He played the drums. He did everything on it. What are your thoughts on people like that? Is that hashtag Eric Coles?
Yeah. It's pretty badass to me. I mean, I can't do it, so.
So what other things can you play then? Because I catch you in a wheelhouse.
Bass and a little bit of ukulele. That's
okay. All right. If there's going to be an option for you, I'm going to get to this a little bit more a little bit later. But if there's a choice right now, you are going to be in front of the world. I just booked you a gig. I like you. I knew some people, and they were like, "Hey, the World Cup this summer, we're gonna take your guy." And I was like, "Okay, Eric, you got to play one song. What are you gonna play?" To the world.
That's a tough one.
I know.
I don't know. I'd probably play one of my originals.
No, so you're not gonna cut. I like that. I like that confidence. You're not gonna cover anything. You're playing one of your originals. All right, what is it? Because everybody's gonna listen to it when this is done.
I'd probably do "I Didn't Do It." It's the title track, or not the title track. It's the first track of my latest album.
Yeah, I like that, man. You're like, hey, I got the moment while I have your attention. Here's my stuff.
Right.
Okay. This sometimes gets a little annoying, but it's what we do in the world. We like to group things. And so even though it probably annoys you when people say it, for our listeners, and some of these may be new people that may not be too familiar, what do you get a lot? Do people say, oh, you sound like insert name here? Does that happen a lot? And who do they say?
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, a lot of times people say Stevie Ray Vaughan, Texas guitar guy.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one I get the most. There's a couple others, but it's mostly Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Okay. I mean, it could be worse. I mean, that's a that's a talented gentleman. All right, so we did go back to high school. I want to finish one last thing in high school. Eric, how many talent shows did you win in high school at school?
So our high school didn't really have like a talent show per se.
Yeah.
There were always like I don't know, like arts days or something, but it was never like a competition. So there wasn't any winner or anything. It was just more like a showcase kind of deal.
So Eric, when exactly did you decide to follow this path to focus on music?
Yeah, so when I was like about 6, I started playing, guitar. And it started with like Rock Band, the game Rock Band. So I was really obsessed with that when I was, like 5, 6. And my dad was like, if you spend as much time practicing actual guitar, you'll get good at guitar. You won't have to play the video game. So I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So I saved up my allowance money and bought my first cheapy guitar, from there. And then, I started getting more serious about it in middle school. When I was young, I was, playing like 3 Blind Mice and stuff like that, and stuff that I really didn't want to play, but it was, kind of building blocks for later,
All right. I know this happens a lot, but let's say you're in high school. At that point, did you start your own band or did you join a band? I don't think you were still solo, right?
No. So with that, I went to high school in Utah, and there was this program called On Track Music, and they do like rock band stuff. So it's essentially like a school of rock program.
Yeah.
If you've heard of those. So you would join the program, and then, there was like a different bands and stuff that were in that program. And, you would join one of the bands that are in that program. So it was like a band through the program and not something on my own at that point.
Well, then that's good, because I had this next question as the follow-up to it. And now it gets even juicier to find that out. Because the question is, if you're a lead guitar and there's another lead guitar, who's the lead? How do you get that out? Now at that, like in a school of rock, something tells me like this is like a movie. Like we're gonna have to say, hey man, we're gonna have to have a battle, and you gotta leave town if you lose. So how did you guys figure that out?
Well, yeah. So usually we would split it. So like, I don't just play lead guitar. I play rhythm guitar too.
Oh, okay.
It's all encompassing. So
yeah.
We would usually split it up. To where, each person got to like choose a song or choose a list of songs that we all picked from. And usually if you picked the song, you got the lead part.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah. But there was always, there's always opportunities for maybe the one guy does one solo and one guy does the other solo, or.
Now, Eric, how does it work if you're a guitar player and a really good singer? Is that when you're supposed to say, I'm just going to focus on vocals and let someone else take it, right? Like, how does that work in a band, in a group?
So it all depends individually too. Like, I would not feel comfortable singing without my instrument. Like, I don't think I would be able to do it,
Yeah.
Just because the guitar is my first love, first instrument, So yeah, I wouldn't be able to to sing without my guitar. I don't think. I mean, I probably could, but I would feel awkward, you know?
Yeah, because you're like, I'm not a vocalist. Like, right? Like, is that kind of?
I mean, I sing, but I think I'm a way better guitar player than I'm.
Yeah. Man, you're helping me out so much. And I've known guys in bands, and I've never had the opportunity to ask all these questions. So this is really cool for me to kind of understand. All right, Eric, you got a band, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm your drummer.
Okay.
I'm a really good drummer, by the way. Like you're lucky to have me. But anyway, I digress. We're trying to work on a set for a show or something. You keep picking stuff that I don't want to play. I'm getting mad at you, Eric. Like look at his face. Eric, no, I don't want to play that, man. And you're like, yo, we're going to do this. And I'm like, no, I don't want to play that. Oh, man, now I'm getting aggressive. And then you're like, no, we're going to play this. I want to play that. Eric, I'm getting really mad. Now, how do those conflicts come out? You told me that like two lead guitarists. How does that get worked out? Because I got my faves, man, and I want to show off my skills. And that's why I want a certain kind of songs. Like, how do y'all figure that out?
Yeah, so I mean, in a band situation, you kind of have to, you know, I was in a band back in Salt Lake. We were called Slow Potion, and you know, they were
I like that.
Yeah, we actually just dropped a new single, Confirmation.
All right, I'm gonna look that one up. I'm gonna look that one up.
And the vocalist, she's really talented. Everyone's really talented in that band, but yeah. Anyways, you know, there would be moments where, you know, we're doing different cover songs and we're like, yeah, I don't really want to do that one anymore. You know, it's not really my vibe. And someone else is like, whoa, I really like doing that one. You know, so it's like you have to balance that out with everyone. You know, you can't just say we're doing this. You know, it has to be a conversation. You know, we never really got too aggressive. You know, we're all very understanding of each other. We always would talk it out. You know, it never turned into a major fight or anything.
Oh, Eric, you're ruining this for me. I'm thinking now we got to go outside. You're going to have a couple picks, and I'm going to have my drumsticks, and I'm going to fight you with the drumsticks.
The picks won't do anything.
No, you got picks. You throw them like ninja stars. This is in my mind. In my mind, Eric.
I mean, I have a multi-pick, but...
Oh, see, there it is. Or maybe you throw them like they're dollar bills at a strip club. But either way, it's music group combat. I don't know. That's just the way I see it. No, but I was always kind of curious on what that is, because it almost feels like sometimes. And maybe this is why some groups don't stay together. There's always that lead person. And I don't know if that's fair. Very few groups can really keep it together. Heck, I just watched a documentary on Wham, and I was like, yo, why'd they have to break up? Fine, George Michael, keep writing everything, and then just I'll fade back, and I'll just be the backup dude. I know we used to be like 50-50, but fine. It'd be 70-30, 80-20. I just want to stay on tour rather than sitting at the house. Like I always kind of wondered that. So I guess you helped us. So a good lead is more of like that, like a leader, and make sure that they're not too selfish and everyone can eat is what it.
Right. Yeah. Like definitely in like a band situation, you know, it gets different when, you know, it's like I have my Eric Heideman project, you know, so that's a little bit different than the Slow Potion project where, you know, I would be investing most of, you know, my money and time with the Eric Heideman thing, whereas, you know, in hiring side guys rather than like, this is the thing. You know, I did have a great band in Salt Lake, but, you know, it was, you know, my thing. I was doing all the booking, all that stuff. With the Slow Potion stuff, you know, it was all of us would work on stuff together. You know, it wouldn't be like one guy working on it all. That kind of stuff.
Eric, I told you this was going to be all nice. I lied. And I don't mind lying to you because, well, crap. I was going to say you're over in, no, you said you're in town, so I might run into you and you're going to punch me. But either way, or you're going to throw those picks at me. I wear glasses, so you can't hit a guy with glasses. But Eric, let's get to the tough stuff, man. Let's get to the tough questions. Here's the tough stuff. If a group comes up and they want autographs, do you sign all the autographs, or do you pass the hat around and make sure I sign it as the drummer? And then, like, have you ever considered that? Like, how do you prevent little things like that from breaking up groups? Because we're trying to get from point A to point B, and we all got to stand here and wait for Eric to sign all the autographs. You know what I mean? Like, I think that happens. So how do you guys navigate those kind of things?
Well, I mean, you know, with the autographs and stuff, I usually have my band with me. You know, it's not like they're doing other things. You know, I mean, sometimes it depends on, you know, if it's a late night or whatever. You know, they usually can get in their car and go home early if they want to. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's usually we all kind of do the autographs and stuff together.
Okay. All right. Because man, well, it hasn't happened to me in life where someone's asked for my autograph, but I feel like there could be some times where that would come up. All right. Now, venues. I want to know, what do you like to play? You like outdoor festivals? You like to be, you know, front and center? You got people sitting out in those hard concrete steps. You like little smaller, intimate settings, or big concert halls, or you like to be a studio performer? Like, what's your favorite?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you can feel the crowd's energy the best in like a small club, you know? Just an intimate club, you know, where you're standing, you know, this close to everyone, you know?
Yes.
I feel like I feed off the energy of the crowd the most there. You know, I've played some festivals and some bigger arenas, and it's almost like you're detached a little bit.
Yeah.
You know.
Have you ever gotten to a point where you just kind of lost yourself and that energy took you over? Yeah,
for sure. Like,
what happened?
You know, there's moments on stage where you're like, whoa. You feel elevated, you know? And there's moments where you feel rock bottom. But
I get that.
Mostly elevated, yeah. And it's just, you know, sometimes the drummer will do something and be like, damn.
Yes, yeah. I do. See, when I was thinking of it, I played some sports. I was thinking that we call it a heat check. Like, if you're, let's say in basketball, if you come down and hit like 2 or 3 shots in a row, now you're coming down, you're probably not even look to pass the ball. You're like, I'm shooting from 8 feet behind the 3-point line now. And it's called a heat check, because you just want to see how hot you are. And I think, because you said energy and all this hit me, is like, well, okay, so what happens if he's like consumed by that energy? Like, maybe you go off script. Does it take you down that path?
With the music that I play, you know, it's kind of, most of it is off script. You know, it's not, you know, there's like the song that you're playing, but then when it comes time to the solo section, I mean, it's all of it's improv. Like, there's nothing that's really planned out. I mean, there's, you know, form changes and stuff, but I usually, you know, give a look for the next section or whatever. But you know, sometimes we can stay on the section for longer or shorter. It just depends on the night, you know.
You've been in a lot of places, performed. You told me about the venues. Now I want to say, up to this point, and I'm hoping you'll take this hook. What's been the best city that you've performed in? Especially since you spent some time out in Salt Lake and you're here in the outdoor music festival of the world, Austin. But like, where are the best places that you've liked?
I mean, I love playing Sand Dollar Lounge in Vegas. That one's a cool one.
Oh,
that's like it's a famous blues club. B.B. King's played there. Other people played there. So
yeah.
I've also played. Gosh, there's this this place in Salt Lake that's really, really cool. It's one of my favorite places to play when I'm in Salt Lake. It's called the Hog Wallow. And it's, like that intimate club setting, where it's like jam-packed, sweaty, hot.
Well, the name, the imagery is already there. When you said Hog Wallow, I was like, oh, you're on top of it, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, it's a fun place. It's
cool.
It's like a skier bar basically.
Yeah. You're close to one of those resorts?
Yeah. So it's like down the canyon from one of the resorts, and it's where all the skiers hang out after they've gone skiing all day.
Since you're from Utah, let me see. You're my first person from Utah here. Man, I'm really in love with Park City. Do you judge me for that? Like you hardcore Utah people, Utahians. I know y'all are Utes, but I know it's it's the resort city. But am I okay to like that?
You're okay to like that. I mean, you know what? We've played up there a lot. It's a cool town. It's getting very crowded, very overcrowded. There's a lot of people moving there, so that would be the one downfall to that. It was cooler when it was a little bit smaller, I think.
Yes.
But every place grows pretty much. I mean,
I know. Well, you and I live in Austin. I mean, you're not from here. I'm actually not from here. I'm an East Coast guy, and you and I, we hear a lot of complaints from our brethren that they hate it, but they don't realize, bro, this is a capital city. Yeah. It was one of the last small capital cities, so it had to grow. Right. And then lastly, it's a kick-ass city. So, a lot of people are going to end up coming here. That's kind of your fault for making it
making it cool.
Yeah, I'm a snowboarder. I used to live in California too, and so I went to Utah for that. And then of course, if you want to if you've never seen an Olympic facility, you got to go up there and check that out.
That's really cool up there.
And so that's how I got caught up. But I've seen the changes over the years, and man, you're right.
And skiing is so expensive now, way expensive.
Man, you're right.
The prices are up.
Oh my God, it's killing me. It's killing me. All right, so I want to just pick a fight here. Where are the best places in America to ski / snowboard? You're from Utah. Well, say it with your chest, Eric.
I mean, that's really the only place I ever have skied though. So
I thought I was gonna corner you. That was a great answer. You dodged that perfectly. You've been doing some media training, haven't you? I was trying to get you, man. I was trying to say, Colorado sucks in comparison. I just wanted you to. You're good.
I'm not that big of a skier, actually. Once the music bug got a hold of me, that's
Yeah, I get it. Well, no, we're glad. Thank you for that. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, hey, speaking of that was another thing I wanted to get to here. So, you were saying that you do a lot of different genres. So, how do you? I don't want to say imposter syndrome, but how do you avoid feeling like? I don't know. How do you own it when you do a different genre? Because you said you studied jazz in college. So if you're going to step away from that and go do some blues, and for those who don't play, I think that is very far apart. So when you're doing some jazz, I'm merging the words there. When you're doing some jazz, how the heck do you get to that point where you're like, oh yeah, I'm comfortable. I'm here. I'm doing this. I
don't think I ever got to that point with jazz.
Oh.
You have to be comfortable being uncomfortable in some circumstances,
Yeah.
I've always liked the blues a lot. That's been my central genre for a long time. I mean, I played rock stuff with the band situation, but there was a summer where we did blues, a blues summer, and that's really what got me hooked on it. So
yeah.
Jazz was a way of, studying music in college. There's not too many blues programs around. So.
Oh, okay.
But I did learn so much. I learned so much from my instructors and stuff. So yeah, it was cool.
Improvisational jazz too? You guys got dug into that a little bit? Okay, because I was wondering if it was like just going to be some stuffy jazz, like the stuff, we're hearing on the radio back in the 1950s, the boring big orchestra. Yeah.
I mean, that big band stuff can be cool,
It can, but I also want some cool things. My thing is I love Latin jazz. I'm also a dancer, but I love Latin jazz. I could do a little cha-cha to that, to dance to. So that's where oh yeah. Have you ever dabbled? Do you ever played with anyone that does a little Latin jazz, or would you be interested?
I mean, I have, back in college, but I hasn't been, I mean, it was, we kind of dabbled in a lot of different genres of jazz, It wasn't like we were strictly doing one thing for the whole time we were there. So that was nice. I got exposure to a lot of different styles and all that.
Yeah. Well, kudos to them.
Yeah.
What would you say is the path meant for someone who's starting out? If you're a fledgling guitar player, I have a good buddy who he's a wrestler. Like he's a national level wrestler, and he picks up a guitar. I've had him on this pie. He picks up a guitar and he plays now. I didn't ask him that, but I'm definitely going to tell him. I'm going to send this to him. But what would you say, where's a great place to start for someone who's just saying, I want to go? He's got an acoustic. I don't know if he's got an electric. I know it's a big gap I'm asking here. But what do you recommend for people? Where would you say to start? Because it's a hodgepodge kind of deal, and it would help you. Like, where would you start someone?
Yeah, I mean, so like, I teach lessons, and there's a lot of other great people that teach lessons, and I would say maybe start with a teacher. There's obviously people that do it on their own. I still take lessons. I don't ever plan on stopping learning from someone else showing me stuff. But YouTube has a lot of great stuff. I mean, learning stuff that you actually like too. That's a big one. Like a lot of people try to teach stuff that their students aren't gonna like, and it's just like, why? What's the point of that? It's supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to hate yourself.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to learn this crap?
Eric, I'm very curious here about the path that you take as a performer when, let's say, you get booked and you're playing a club. Do you take requests? Do you leave that door open?
I don't usually. People are shouting like, "Play Stevie Ray Vaughan."
I knew it. That's what I was gonna ask. What do they always ask?
They always say, "Play Stevie song." And my teacher now, he's like, "Just play like a song that Stevie covered that's not an original Stevie song if you don't want to do a Stevie song, Or like, this is a deep cut, and it's just whatever.
Yeah.
Industry secret.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, that's awesome, man. I don't want to do this, but I got to do it. I think maybe you knew it was going to come. I need your top 5 dead or alive, bro. I got to have it. Are we talking Slash, Santana? Like, I got to know who you're putting up there in your top 5 dead or alive. I got to know.
B.B. King.
Okay.
Sure. Gosh. Top 5 is hard.
I know. Because that number 6 is always a hard one.
Right.
Like, why did I leave you out? Should I put you in? But yeah, I'm gonna do it, man. I had to ask.
I gotta go Bob Marley in the top 5.
Oh yeah. I didn't even think
my sister's actually named after a Bob Marley album. Kaya.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, what's her name again?
Kaya.
Sheesh. Man, your parents get some flavor over there in Utah. What is going on? That's cool.
My dad's from Southern California originally, and my mom,
there's the vibe.
in Utah. Yeah,
there's the vibe. Yeah.
My dad would go to like, tons of ska shows and stuff back in the day. I have a lot of his old ska and reggae records too.
Wow.
But yeah, gosh, I mean, it's tough, man.
Yep. I hope everyone's looking at this on video, because he's a performer, but his head is smoking, and I think he's uncomfortable because he thinks someone he leaves out is gonna come looking for him. Like, he doesn't want to leave somebody out. This is really hard for him.
I gotta say, Fabulous Thunderbirds. They're one of my favorites. They're from Austin. They're an Austin band. Back in the day.
I didn't know that either. Cool.
Yeah. So it's Jimmy Vaughn, Kim Wilson, Mike Buck, and I'm forgetting the original bass player. But yeah, they're super tight, super good.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, I would kind of lump Jimmy Vaughn into that. Stevie Ray Vaughan's brother. Let's see. Ronnie Earl was probably like one of the only people I've seen live that gives me like genuine hardcore goosebumps all over for like,
oh man,
for like multiple times, like multiple songs, like yeah.
How many times have you seen him live?
Ronnie Earl just once. He doesn't really tour much anymore. I saw him at the Youth Blues Fest 2019 maybe.
Oh, okay.
The pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he used to do a lot of cocaine and stuff, so his body's kind of like shutting down a little bit, so he's not playing much anymore.
Yeah.
Man, you look at him, he's like shaking like crazy, but then when he starts playing, he's like smooth as butter. You're like,
okay. Okay, he still can rise to the moment. Yeah, that was rough, man. I know it was rough to ask that of you, but just kind of curious, just kind of see where your flavor's at, I think we all may have our own, but I mean, this is your episode, so we want to know what your thoughts are. Okay, how about this then? How about this? You're gonna go on tour. I'm gonna cover everything because I'm paid. I got cash like that. I got cash like that. So money is no object. What's the first city you want me to send you to?
Yeah.
Internationally too. You don't have to stay in America.
I probably would want to play in Chicago. That'd be cool.
Whoa! Why Chicago? Send it. Like, what's up?
I mean, just the music history, the blues history in Chicago.
Yeah.
With Buddy Guy, Muddy Waters. Junior Bell. Yeah. All those great people. And be cool to play. In Chicago.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Heck yeah, I would. So that's your choice. But as a performer, like where are some of the places you think you gotta hit though? Because like it's kind of mandatory. Like I don't know. I spent some time in New Orleans. I've gone to New Orleans a lot. Like, is that a place you gotta play? Some smoky joints in New York you gotta go to.
Yeah.
Like Leo Soul Love, you got to go to Philly. I feel like
right everywhere. I mean, there's huge audiences everywhere. Like
yeah. So then that's the excitement of it. The excitement is you're still living, bro. Like there's still places you got to get to.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I love it. All right, who do you want to work with? And it could be someone famous. I'm gonna book a venue for you, because I'm still swimming in all this cash, bro. Don't worry about it. This is my money. I'll spend it how I want to spend it. And I'm gonna go get somebody for you, because I just want to see you and this person just jam. Who are you getting? Oh, wait, let me back this up. I want to offer Dead or Alive. I want to offer that to you.
BB King.
No, Eric. What the heck? What you gonna do, man? Like, how do you? That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
but you're built for that. You're ready for that.
I just want to soak up all his knowledge.
Yeah, I know. Now, oh my gosh, man. We gotta hustle you off the stage. Somebody's like, "Hey, we're done, man. Y'all gotta go." You're like, "I ain't going nowhere." BB, let's do something else.
Right. I'd be grateful just to even see BB. But
yeah. Man. Oh, okay. So we know BB used to have his most famous. He may have had a few, but Lucille was his number one, right?
Yeah.
Do you name? Oh, sorry. What was that?
His guitar, Lucille. Yep.
So, do you name yours? And what's the name?
I don't name mine. I'm not creative in that regard.
Well, okay. So that's fine if you don't have the name, because this follow-up that I had prepared was, do you have a favorite? Like I think when you turned your camera, there were 2 or 3 things over there. Like, do you have what in the Prince? That thing's beautiful. Is it a blue or?
Yeah, it's blue.
Wow.
Okay. Local guy in Salt Lake. Yeah. Local guy in Salt Lake built that for me.
Okay. Now I'm intrigued. Like handmade. So are you saying that he maybe took some measurements or he eyeballed it and was like, yeah, as long as your arms are like even to that level?
No. So like usually guitars, there's different kinds of, scale lengths and stuff like that. Or like how long the strings are basically.
Yeah.
Between positions. And, I picked the scale length. I picked frets. I picked, the inlays. I picked pickups, everything. So like inlays, I don't know if you guys can see, but it's crushed turquoise inlays.
Yeah.
I picked, he does like this diner top series.
Yeah.
Just kind of.
And what kind of wood is that on the back? What is that on the back?
This is alder, I think, and then this is the swamp, or not swamp ash. That's my other guitar. This is a flame maple neck, and then zirconi fingerboard. It's kind of like a rosewood.
Yeah. Man, that thing is beautiful. That's beautiful.
Super dope.
Now, see, you shouldn't even done that. Now you got me all sidetracked. All right, so that's your fave. What can you play on that? Like, can you play rock on that? Like, can you do everything on that one? And then, because it's your fave, you're going to make it work? Or I got to go get something else for that. How do you work that out?
I mean, for the most part, you can play pretty much anything on it besides, like, acoustic,
Yeah.
But, it's all about how you manipulate the amp and the volume knob and all that stuff to get different tones out of it.
Let's go back. I want to create some familial drama or make you cry. Get the speed dial for your therapist ready. Send them a text, however you contact them. So your dad started us down this road, and I actually kind of like that. I'm a dad, but I kind of like that he was pretty supportive because he pushed you towards positivity, and actually just picking it up. So like to this day, is he still a fan, or he's like, dang, man, I didn't know you were going to do this. I wanted you to be an accountant. So did it turn into dad? Like, do we hate dad now? Or we love the guy?
My mom and dad and sister and, grandparents, they're all very supportive of.
Oh, cool.
Doing this. So, yeah. Everyone's like, yeah, you got to do it.
Hold on, Eric. Does he introduce you at family reunions and to other people? Hey, this is Eric. He plays guitar. He's like, oh, he's Eric. Yeah, he lives in Austin. Like, are they proud?
Yeah, I think they are proud. I mean, I just moved to Austin last year, November. So
yeah,
it's been tough for them because I would play, almost every weekend in Salt Lake, and they would get to come see, and they're always there from beginning to end.
Yo, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. If your parents are in the stand, if they're in the crowd, you can't rip off your shirt. You can't. There's this really awesome girl in the front row in this sundress, and you're like, oh, I'm talking to her after. But like, you're ripping it. Like, Can you be yourself when your parent?
Yeah, I can.
Genuinely, I'm curious.
Yes, I can. You know,
Okay, all right.
You know, I feel more of myself with them than anyone else. You know.
Oh, all right. Okay, I was just kind of curious. I know that this is going to be a little off the wall. I've kind of already been off the wall. Eric, you know that we're all just one moment away from just like blowing up. When you blow up, I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the word, you're going to be so big, people don't want to hear about you. Oh, it's another feature. He's on another one. What would you say when that happens? What would you do if you heard people are tired of you, Eric? What would you do?
You know, that would probably sting a little bit. You know, I'd probably feel, you know, the way BB felt when he got booed. You know, when they introduced him and people booed him. You know, that would probably hurt me. You know.
Yeah. The reason I ask that is it always seems like there comes a point where, you know, we're always evolving. Taylor Swift, just an example. And now I lost you because you're like, dude, there's no way we're talking about Taylor on my episode. But so she started off, you know, she did a little country. And then she shifted to pop because she ain't stupid. And she knew that she could blow up and she can go worldwide with it. So to that same point, maybe you evolved into another player. Yeah. And I thought, would you say that you could go back to a different time, a formative time? And do you think you would want to maybe do, I hate to say an unplugged, but like you would want to shift to something else then? Do you think that you could do that you would want to do that when you're at the height of heights?
Yeah, I mean, I always feel like sometimes when artists, you know, they change their sound or change their look, everyone, you know, half the crowd gets mad at them, half the crowd is right? Yeah. And I always feel like, you know, that's kind of how it works. You know, that's kind of how art and, you know, anything creative really work. You know, you have to keep pushing the ball forward. And if the ball becomes stagnant, then it's just, what are you doing?
Thank you. So that's where I wanted, you've kind of already answered it, but I want to ask, to be clear, how do you make that decision? Like, how do you, I don't want to say get back to the basics because that was a launch pad and it may not, that's not the landing area. That's where we launched from, is the way I see it.
Right.
So what would lead you when you're at the height of heights? What would you think would lead you? Are we just strictly going off of how you feel, audience reception, album sales or streams?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the most important thing as artists and as musicians is to express yourself and, you know, maybe inspire others with that expression, right?
Yeah.
So for me personally, you know, I don't know, it could change in time, but I don't really think, you know, album sales is the best thing to, you know, look at when you're trying to make art, you know.
I get it.
But, you know, at the same time, you have to make a living. So
you do. I mean, why should I be a starving artist? I don't want to have to sell all my amps. Then what kind of music am I making? I'm
exactly. So there's the fine balance of that. But like, you know, with the blues world, there's always, you know, some gatekeepers and stuff. You know, it's like, oh, you know, this album's not blues. It has other stuff in it, you know.
Yeah.
Well, if you want the true blues albums, you can go listen to hundreds of them. It's already been done.
Yeah.
You know, so you kind of have to push the envelope a little bit, and try new things.
Eric, you're playing some good ball right now, bro. Like you're doing a little pass and go, a little give and go, because you're right where I wanted to go next. Collabos. collabos. Like when I'm trying to remember the name of the guy. When Santana did that song with he's done it with yes.
Smooth.
I mean, when you think about it, you look back and you're like, oh, genius. It kind of had to happen. Yeah. I don't know if that was his most famous. It feels like it is to me.
It's definitely up there, yeah.
With the newness of it. I mean, we can get back to some of his old stuff. What was it? Black
Magic Woman, yeah.
Yeah, Black Magic Woman. Because that's so old, yes, maybe that has in totality more. Right. It's not even downloads at this point for that one because it's old. But you get what I'm saying. Because of that, I know for me, one of my most amazing Santana joints was Maria.
Yeah.
You remind me of a West Side. Yo, that I love that. I grew up listening to Santana, so that was my dad's guy.
Santana's amazing.
So collabos. Have you done collabos? Are you resistant to collabos?
I would be down to collaborate with different people in different genres, and try to create something.
Yeah.
Yeah. At this point in my career, it's not necessarily possible to do like collabs with like huge artists, but yeah, that'd be cool, to do some stuff with some bigger artists.
Yeah.
And that Santana album was like, Santana was like, I'm going to make an album that's going to be commercial. Like he wanted to make an album that was going to be like commercial success, and he fucking pulled that off.
Yes, he did.
Like won like all the awards it was nominated, like all the Grammys it was nominated for. Like it won all of them.
Yeah. I mean, and you kind of have to do that. You got to, I think you have to evolve. You have to do this. And then maybe you reel these people in, and then maybe they go back and they hunt some other stuff that you've done.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. You did something that like grabbed these people.
Yeah.
Exactly. And now you got them. Let's live in that moment with this right here. If anything, I feel like it shows your overall talent. I wasn't going to fight you on this, but I was curious of like your thoughts on it, because I think that is a true measure of talent that, again, Taylor could start with country, go to pop. Even Beyonce now, she's doing some country, and look, she's breaking records and getting downloads. I don't care about any of the other stuff. There's some new people that are just now really getting into her, and I think it's just a measure of talent. I think that matters.
I hate when people are like, they try to pigeonhole artists.
Yes.
It's like, you can't do that. You're this type of artist. Like,
yeah,
who cares?
So, Eric, what were your thoughts though when Andre 3000 from Outkast became a flautist and he released that?
I don't know if I've heard that.
Yeah, he did. And I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's like I don't listen to a lot of flute, but yeah, I also work at a radio station, so I've played it and I can dig it. Like I get it, and he's talented, and he's just showing his range. In fact, I'm just impressed that he can pull it off. And he said, "Look, I'm not saying I'm never gonna rap again, but he's also like, dude, I'm like a almost 50-year-old rapper. Like, who wants to hear from me and with that? So when that comes, yeah, I'll do it. But that was the then me, and this is the now me, and people seem to be digging it.
Yeah, it's a big risk for sure to do that in a career for sure, but
it is
usually works out to benefit.
So Eric, for those who maybe are just now finding out about you, could you tell us just a little bit about when your peers talk about Eric Heideman? What do they say? How would they describe you? What are things you've heard?
Gosh, I don't know. I don't know. I hope they say that I'm very very kind and very humble, and I'm not all about trying to be the best or anything. I'm just
Sure
trying to make music and stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's a good thing. I mean, honestly, bro, we can't listen what everyone says about us. But sometimes, we've been in some venues, some areas, we've crossed paths. And it's like, hey, I was just talking to such and such about you. And he was like, yeah, man, you rip it up. And now that I get to work with you, I kind of get that. But again, that's also kind of rare to happen because, sometimes there's a little friction, some haterade that people are drinking, and they don't want to work with you. It doesn't happen like that all the time. So then in your own words, how do you describe when you're coming across people? I know you sent some CDs to the station. That's how I found out about you. So how do you describe yourself when someone's like, hey man, thanks for the CD. What is this? What would you say? Of course you're going to be like, well, go listen to it. But if you have to voice it, how do you describe yourself normally?
Yeah, I mean, I would describe myself as primarily blues musician, but dabbling in funk, soul. I say when I play live, I try to make my sets varied, so it's not all just one type of thing. You go to see some shows and they're all, there's like 10 shuffles. It's like, okay, I know what a shuffle sounds like at this point.
Yes.
So I try to be, I don't know, I guess varied in my presentation and not just doing, one type of thing the whole time. And just, I would say a lot of my stuff is exciting.
Yeah. I've got two last questions. This I had one, but this one came up because you mentioned at the beginning. Bro, are you even allowed to play Guitar Hero? Like, can you show up to an arcade and play? Should you be banned?
Dude, I can't. Guitar Hero is so hard at this point.
Huh? For you?
It's so different than actual guitar. It's insane.
Oh.
But one of my friends in Salt Lake, he is like super freaking good at Guitar Hero. He's the one that plays the keys, he plays guitar, he plays bass, he plays like everything. But he's so locked in to Guitar Hero sometimes it's crazy.
Man, I'm glad I asked that. That's cool. Wow. I'm surprised. I'm surprised by the answer.
It's like I could listen to the song and play it better on guitar than I could with the Guitar Hero lights coming at me.
Yo, that's great.
That's not how this would be. That's not how this would be. Like in my head, I'm like a guitarist thinking about it.
That's great, man. That's exactly what I was looking for. Hey, so Eric, for those who are out there that want to follow you, where are you? How do they stay in touch? How can they find you and follow?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, all Eric Heideman music. And then I have website, ericheideman.com, email list, all that stuff if you are really interested in following me. But I am giving a free download away for everyone who signs up for that email list right now. And then, I'll be playing a show here at the Skylark Lounge on May 9th. If you want to see me live.
What day is that? May 9th? Is that like a Saturday?
It's a Thursday.
Man, I'm going to be there, Eric. I'm going to be there. I'm going.
Thanks.
I'm going. And,
yep.
And so according to what you said earlier, I just got to hang out long enough and I might even be able to get a signature, right? I can get an autograph at the end. I can do that. Because I'm going to bring the wife. So I want to look cool. I'm like, I know this guy. Let's just stick around. I'll get you an autograph. Eric, this is cool, man. I learned a lot. Thanks for taking the patience to answer the low guy's question. Not a guitar player. Don't want to be one. I love it, but I was always kind of curious. We learned a little bit about you. Man, I didn't know you were from Utah. That's really cool. I love Utah.
Yeah.
Man, I need to retire in Utah, man. I love it so much. The people, I visited so much. The people are so friendly. It's just, man, that's like a whole nother discussion there of like this. Remember when I was telling you about Austin? The locals can't get mad about all the people moving here because clearly y'all made it too cool. And same thing.
Right.
I'm about to go buy a house next to your mama and your cool ass dad. And now if they want to complain, it's because y'all have been too cool in Utah all the times I visited. And now I get to meet another homie. The Heideman homie from Utah. That's what
yeah, exactly.
I'll drop your name. I'll be like, hey man, why are you moving here? Eric Heideman sent me. I'm gonna do that. But a little promotional. I see you got the event coming up May 9th. Anything else you wanted to put out? Maybe that I didn't cover to release to the audience. I want to make sure that we get an opportunity to learn as much as we can about you and support you going forward.
Yeah. I mean, my music's on Spotify, iTunes, all the streaming sites. I guess iTunes is kind of irrelevant at this point. Apple Music. Apple Music. Third Degree Gravity is my latest record. That one was recorded in New Jersey, actually.
Wow.
And that was with Victor Wainwright on keyboard, Michael Bram on drums, and then Matt Raymond on bass. At the Fat Rabbit Studios, Dave Gross. And then JW-Jones and Victor Wainwright were co-producers on that. So
you recorded that in New Jersey. Were there any obligatory Bon Jovi songs you had to do? Maybe not on the album, but like while you're in the studio, while you're in a venue?
We actually didn't.
Okay, all right. I'm just curious because that is that guy.
Right.
I just want to leave with this last little item. In fact, I may hit in recording before you either laugh at me or not. But we talked collabos. Is it okay to say I fell in love with the guitar when I heard Aerosmith Rock This Way with Run DMC? Is that all right?
Yeah.
For a guitar player, was that a okay collabo / representation of some ripping guitar? Okay.
Yeah.
That's my genre. That's my jam, man. I just wanted you to know. I just want to offer that to you.
Dude, rap and everything's so cool. Like there's so much music out there that's so cool.
Yeah. And I think it's a timeless track. I think if you throw that on nowadays, anyone would still bop to it. I've been in some arenas, roller skate. I used to live in the Midwest, Indianapolis, and like roller skating is big there. But you bring that on, and like the floor is packed. Yeah, people still love it. So,
dude, Aerosmith, Run DMC, it's like two greats. You can't go.
Whoever put that one together, they're just sitting back and was like.
Aerosmith's been one of my favorites for a long time. I mean, I'm more in the blues now than I was back then, but like we used to jam Aerosmith all the time.
Yeah. Did you ever really get to any Metallica songs? Give me a Metallica fave that you like to play when you dabbled in mostly
when
rock.
I dabbled. I mean, we did like old Metallica stuff like Seek and Destroy. That was fun.
Yeah.
One of my when I was first getting into rock music, I was like one of the songs that I had to learn that was on like my list of songs was like Enter Sandman,
Yeah. See, I didn't want to ask, but that was my way of roundabout throwing it in there. I actually looked down and I was like, oh, I skipped that. I didn't ask you the obligatory, here's the Wayne's World reference. I didn't say anything about Stairway to Heaven or anything.
Dude, I love Wayne's World.
Yeah, man. It's awesome. Eric, I was supposed to cut it. You're about to take me down another path. That tells me that I enjoyed this. This was awesome. We're over an hour, but this is exactly what I thought it was going to be. So thank you, Eric.
Yeah, thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun.
Don't forget, man, I'm on the radio. So I don't know. What's the quickest way you and I have been doing IG. Like when I play your stuff on my radio show, is that the fastest way to get you? Should I do that? Because I'd like for you to see it.
Probably text would be faster.
Okay, then you and I are going to be doing some behind the scenes texting and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll do that with you. And yeah, man, let's get you out there a little bit more. I'm going to make sure. I know you sent it to all of us. I don't know who else is playing it, but I know when I do it, I want you to know I'm doing it. So thanks again, man, and have a great rest of the day.
Thank you so much. That was awesome.
Everyone, let's follow. This gentleman has got talent. Thanks again, Eric.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.